Welcome back. Now an incredible reunion in Rosemount. An irreplaceable pendant is now back with its owner more than 4 years after it went missing. This after an eagle-eyed grocery store worker spotted it. Here's Raya Katene.
Out of all the words you can live by,
live like Leah.
These three are the guiding light for Tom and Kathy Hemish.
Slow down.
I know.
After losing their only child, 35-year-old Leah, to an aggressive cancer.
She died of cancer back in 2019, diagnosed with it, and 6 weeks later she passed.
Well, here it is. She lived her life to the fullest, and we should all live by that.
Soon after her daughter's passing,
It's our birthstones, mine, Tom's, and Leah's.
Kathy made sure Leah would always be with her.
And then her ashes are in each of the sides here.
This pendant, carrying some of Leah's ashes and engraved with her birth date on the back, always staying close by. Until one day, 4 years ago, the pendant disappeared as Kathy was shopping at This Cub in Rosemount. They searched the store, the parking lot.
We looked in the house, we looked in the car.
And even posted on this Rosemount Neighbors Facebook page.
I mean, it hurt.
Yeah.
But, you know, what do? You have to just move on.
Moving on, about a year later, Tom and Kathy made a new pendant, nearly identical to the one they'd lost.
Live like Leah, engraved on the back.
But 4 years later,
4 years and a month, it's like, who would ever imagine something would show up?
Mm-hmm.
Tom and Kathy thought was impossible became a reality.
I was speechless. I'm like, I couldn't even wrap my head around it, because it just, I thought it was gone forever. I just could not even imagine that it was here.
A Cub employee doing a deep clean under a refrigerated section in the produce aisle found the pendant, took it to the store manager, who posted about it on the same neighborhood Facebook page. And from there, a stranger in the group reached out to Tom, saying she remembers his post 4 years ago in search of the special necklace.
I don't think they really understood,
Yeah.
you know, what it meant for us to find it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay.
A perfect example, her parents say, of what it means to live like Leah, simply doing good in any way.
We just are very thankful for the people that found it and did what they did. So
To reunite us with
her.
her.
To put us back with her, yeah.
I love happy endings like that. Well, here's another one for you. The 4th of July week, we have a unique story involving the symbol of freedom, an injured eagle able to fly again after a rare procedure. I learned more about the process performed for the first time at a rehab clinic in Wisconsin.
The aroma of breakfast.
The hockey teams use smelling salts. We use Northerns.
Fills Winged Freedom Raptor Hospital in Spooner, Wisconsin.
Squirrels and rabbits, and heavy on Northerns.
Of course, this spread isn't for volunteers.
There we go. You're okay.
But the eagles they care for.
You are just not going to let me have this, are you? All right.
Kim Ammon.
I mop the floors. I do everything from that on up.
Started the nonprofit 2 years ago.
Yeah, I'm the founder, veterinarian. Okay, honey.
So injured birds, including owls and hawks,
Get you back together here.
can fly back to freedom.
There's a lot of training. There's a lot of smell. There's a lot of yuck, gooey fish.
A lot of fish.
But that isn't the hardest part of the job.
I really considered euthanizing her.
10 months ago, an injured eagle was spotted in a campground in Hayward, Wisconsin.
Found some blood and a wound on her leg. And it didn't look that bad to begin with, but as I started to work on it and all, I realized it was huge.
Likely from a fight with another bird, she had quite a gash to heal. But there was another problem.
I needed some way to either harvest a skin graft from her and put it over that as a patch, which was just going to be too big to try and get from anywhere. And so I got on the internet.
It's a biologic dressing that is like replacing the patient's own skin.
Dan Moradian is the chief technology advisor of Kerecis, an Icelandic company that uses fish skin to heal wounds.
It's really a scaffold that the host cells, the eagle's body, grow into and just promotes the natural healing.
So, if you are what you eat,
Yep, that's her. That's Kier.
It only makes sense that Kier's best chance to be in fine feather
I just place it on
is an Icelandic cod.
the area where I want.
Humans use it too.
Microscopically, looks identical to human skin. And so since it comes from the cold, clean waters of Iceland, it retains all of the useful structure and factors in normal skin.
Still, Kier had to be treated for months, living a life opposite of what eagles stand for.
And they came to represent freedom and everything that's wild.
When Kim retired from her traditional vet role,
Okay.
she made her dream a reality,
Oh, yeah.
bringing a hospital like this to rural Wisconsin. It was retirement that allowed her to spread her wings. Now she's fighting for Kier to spread hers.
She would let me do the treatments awake. It was this just very odd calmness that would come over her, and she let me treat this wound. It was her personality and her willingness to work with me.
But that composure is no longer required.
She took us for a good chase this morning.
Finally, Kier is fully healed up
It's nice thick skin.
I'll probably start crying.
and has an audience of volunteers who cared for her.
She's excited, we're excited. She's ready to go.
The price of her freedom is small,
Yeah, I'm a little sad. Yeah, it was a little emotional kind of looking at her and saying, this is the last time I'm going to hold you and touch you. Ready?
compared to the reward of seeing Kier free as a bird.
Bye, sweetheart.
With photojournalist Mitchell Yale,
Hayward's the other way.
Sammy Solina,
Yay! Woohoo!
KARE 11 News.
Bald eagles, so cool. Just gotta say that. And along with birds and humans, this skin procedure has been used on horses, dogs, a turtle, and of course, a fish. Stick with us. More news and weather is coming up after the break.